Am I settling? That's a question you should be asking yourself regularly. When we hit midlife, it's like we reach a fork in the road where we get to decide whether we're going to go for our dreams or we're going to settle and play it safe. We here at Encore Empire are not settling, and we bet you don't want to settle either. So, today we're discussing 3 ways to make sure you're not falling into the comfort trap and settling for less. So, number one is how to know if you're settling, identifying what success means to you. Number two is let your values guide you. Number three is the time to act is now. And then stick with us to the end to learn how you can make your business dreams come true.
Hi, I'm Deidre Harder, a CPA and business strategy coach, and this is my partner, Carmen Reed Gilkison, a certified whole person coach. We started our business, Encore Empire, to help women in midlife who want to grow a profitable online business in a way that leverages their unique life experience and honors their values to provide both financial and time freedom that they have worked so long and so hard to attain. So let's dive into the first concept here. Number one, how to know if you're settling. Now, the first part of this is to identify what success means to you. And I know that sounds really simple, but it takes a little bit of inner work because you want to go beneath the surface here. Now, oftentimes we look outside of ourselves, we look to the outside to see how others are defining success. We need a model to see, well, what does that look like? And we unwittingly think that our success should look like theirs. And it's when we allow others to define it for us, or we think our goal in our business should be what's accepted, what's popular, what people are saying right now. And I know you've heard it all before, like, build your 7-figure business, or your goal should be helping thousands of people. Now, there's nothing wrong with these goals, but you must be sure that's what you truly want. Whatever it is you want, whatever your idea of success is, then that is your success. So it doesn't have to look like anything. It can be whatever it is you want. So once you define that, so that's the first step, is to define that. And then once it's defined, you need to then kind of step back and look at it again and be sure it's exactly what you want, not what you think is achievable, but what you truly want. And so here's how do you figure that piece of it out. If you already know how to achieve it, like if you say, okay, I want to grow a business that earns this much money or helps this many people, and you have a real good idea of exactly how to do that, that's an indicator you're settling. Mm-hmm. Because this has to be the big goal, right? This has to be the end game. And it's got to be big enough that you actually don't have an idea of how you're going to achieve it, but you know that you're passionate enough to achieve it. And that's a big difference there. And you've heard this saying before, and it's so true. You shoot for the moon, and then you're going to land among the stars. So don't play it safe by going, okay, I'll pick a mediocre definition of success for myself because I think I know how to get there. Make it really big. Make it to where you don't really know how you're going to do it, but that's what lights the passion inside of you, and that's what's going to fuel you, and the how-to is going to come along the way. So be sure that you define this using your own values, and that's what Carmen's going to talk about next.
That's right. So concept number 2, let your values guide you. Our core principle at Encore Empire is teaching people how to identify and connect with their values, so no matter what they decide to do, they're in alignment. That is so important, and it's an often overlooked factor when it comes to dreams and making them come true. A dream always seems wonderful because, well, it's a dream, right? So once reality sets in, that dream can look a lot like something we don't want to do if we haven't taken the time to connect to our internal guidance system, which is our values. So when I first decided to start a business at the age of 50, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I made lists of what I liked to do, things that I was good at, and I narrowed it down to a few that I thought I'd like to try. So I love to cook, and owning a food truck seemed dreamy. But when I started doing the research, I found that if I went that route, I would never be home. And the entire reason for me wanting to start a business was for more freedom to spend time with my family, not less. So that aha moment was the beginning of my understanding that I needed to do something that aligned with my values or it wasn't going to work. So to identify and connect with your values, simply make a list of what matters most to you. It can be things like family, freedom, innovation, collaboration, anything, brainstorm whatever you can think of and write it down. And then I want you to narrow your list down to the top 3. So values are wonderful things, and all of them may resonate with you. I mean, when Deidre and I have done this exercise, it's hard to come down to the top 3, but you can only choose 3. And this ensures that you're focused on what's most important. If everything's important, then nothing's important, right? So what is most important for you? And that's what you want to do. And another way that you can narrow it down is as you get this big brainstorm list, you can look for commonalities or themes. So, different things might be able to fit under one umbrella value, and then that umbrella value becomes one of your top values, right? So it doesn't mean that you don't value all those things. It just means that you know how to define what's most important. And so once you have your values, you are ready to act. And Deidre is going to explain why the time to act is now.
That's right. And Carmen and I are in midlife. We help women in midlife build and grow their businesses. And what we've discovered, and the reason why we focus there, is because midlife is like a gift. Okay. And we believe that our experience elevates everything. And so now's the time to use all that experience, all the wisdom, all the moxie that you've acquired over these past couple of decades. Now, and I want you to really think about it. Like, think about where you are now compared to, and who you are now compared to who were you 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Huge difference, right? I mean, aside from, the wrinkles and some of the joint and aches in our, pains we might get, I wouldn't trade being 20 for anything. Now, statistics show, this is very interesting, that the average age of female entrepreneurs is 42. And on top of that, the 2018 statistical data showed that almost half of women entrepreneurs are between the ages of 40 and 55. Now, why do you think that is? It's because of all that experience. And that's why we say experience elevates everything. Now is the most powerful time in your life. And on top of it, your role may have changed over these last few years. You might be an empty nester. You might not have all the same responsibilities that you had, 10 years ago. You may have been elevated. Maybe you're still working in your profession or in a corporate job, and, you've risen up the ranks, but maybe you're at the top of your game there and there's nowhere else to go. But don't settle for that. There is more. You are more. And you should never settle for anything less than your highest and best self. And believe me, at this point in your life, you are more than capable.
That's right. So we invite you to join us inside the Empire of Unstoppable Women, growing profitable online businesses, for more inspiration and actionable training. That is our free Facebook group where we go live every Tuesday for live learning, where you have a ton of supportive women your age going through the same things with the same dreams or similar dreams. And everyone there is so supportive and welcoming. So we hope to see you there. You're cordially invited.